Anybody immediate? No? Huh? Les?
No, I'm just thinking about the museums. This exhibition at the moment, what I can gather, is all to do with the institution and all the museums and people who donated your pictures or bits of carvings and all that. At the moment, I don't really see any really at the moment any strong black history and black presence in this Manchester thing or British thing that's happening at the moment.
Are you talking about revealing history?
In this revealing history, in this exhibition,
Each gallery, museum, determine their own exhibition under the banner of revealing histories.
Right.
So each.
And you're working to their thing, are you?
No, the gallery invited we four to respond to their theme, and we could have said no, thank you, walk away. But it wasn't dictated by revealing histories. Does that make sense? That's you.
And I see what you're
We have a date. We have a date in the calendar. I mean, let's be very fair about this. We have a date in the calendar that's coming up, and in many ways, the institutions, in some ways, were more aware of the dates than Joe blogs on the street was. And there was always a fear. My personal fear was that it would just become an exercise in looking back and getting a new audience in and a couple of black kids in, etc. So this one was different because it wasn't going to be emotive. It wasn't going to be the poor black African, the poor African, and that guilt trip. It was going to look about actually the gloss that was polished above that degradation of humanity. And there are comments in the book that says, there's no mention of the slaves or anything, but it is looking at a specific aspect of that. But that decision was made by this gallery, not by revealing history. So that's all I'm really trying to clarify now. Okay. All right?
And I think I'm very aware that I've come, obviously, from my own perspective and my own research and background, and I'm a kind of a historian, I suppose, if I want to classify myself. And I know that sort of your interests lie more in art and those connections, and that's something that I have chosen not to look at. I've looked at this specific niche, I guess, of interest, connecting commerce with collecting. But at the same time, I think there's other aspects of the exhibition that sort of do look at other aspects of the story, like the Althea McNeish textiles. Alan's can articulate this better than me, but they show a contemporary African artist. I don't know how she would describe herself.
Contemporary Trinidadian artist who was dealing with the legacy of a complex ancestry which includes Africa and the Americas and Britain. And in a sense, again, I could almost have talked about them as having been missed, because the people who write the comments about it's such a negative exhibition, which there are a few, which sort of say, oh, I want something positive. I almost want to say to them, well, look up, because up there are these beautiful Althea McNeish textiles, which I think give a real kind of feeling of that kind of legacy.
But obviously the way you're coming up, you are promoting the museum again. Sorry? You are promoting the museum.
I don't see that as my role, but specifically.
Bear with me, let's Kevin speak, and let's just see how it all, it might make a complete circle.